Hello everyone, welcome back to Berks One-on-One, and a happy Easter to everybody. For today's video, I'm actually going to be looking back at the history of Easter in Berks County. I got to visit two events last weekend, one at the Pennsylvania German Cultural Heritage Center, the Kutztown Easter on the Farm event, and the other at the Berks History Center for their Easter open house. Both events gave me a glimpse into the history of Easter in Berks County, and I'm happy to share that with you today.
Well, my name is Benjamin Neely, and I'm the Executive Director at the Berks History Center. So it is my job to make sure that the organization has the funding it needs to carry out its programming. And our programs are, we do lecture series and tours, walking tours, bus tours, lots of nature hikes. Then we have workshops here, and we have some going on today. We also have a research library where you can do research on any topic you dream of about the history of Berks County. We can help you with. And we also have 3 floors of exhibits here at the main museum building.
My name is Lisa Minnick, and I'm the business manager here at the Berks History Center. My job encompasses taking care of all the financial aspects, as well as assisting the executive director in the day-to-day operation of the History Center. Today we're having an Easter open house, and as you can see, we have the Easter Bunny joining us, where the kids can come and join them. We also have our PA German tree out in our lobby, which includes a collection of all our eggs that are part of the museum's collection. We have various other activities going on. There's egg coloring for the kids downstairs. We have a scratch egg workshop going on, and also a scavenger hunt.
So some of the local Pennsylvania German traditions are, we have in the lobby, we actually have an Easter tree. And the tree is wrapped in cotton, and then decorated eggs are hung from the tree. We also have a tradition of doing scratch eggs. So eggs are dyed, they're typically brown, and then you scratch gently into that to create all sorts of artistic designs on the eggs. And one thing that we do here, our curator walks people through around this time of year, a painting class. Is the very first depiction of the Easter Bunny around the 1850s was actually done in Berks County. So that is kind of a neat claim to fame on the holiday for Berks Countyans and Pennsylvania Germans.
My name is Vicki Hefner, and I'm the Education Curator here at the Berks History Center. And today during our Easter open house, I'm demonstrating Binzegras egg making. Binzegras eggs are one of 2 eggs done by Pennsylvania Germans in southeastern Pennsylvania. The other is scratch eggs. A Binzegras egg looks something like this. And it's actually made from the Binzegras. Believe it or not, inside this grass is the pith. And this is actually a really long one. That's a good one. So you push the pith out of this grass, and then you take it and you very carefully glue it around the egg, and then you apply cloth in different shapes and create beautiful eggs like this. It's very time consuming, and it takes a lot of patience, but isn't it beautiful?
Hi, my name is Rick Politica. I am a 43-year member of the Historical Society of Berks County, better known as the Berks History Center today. I'm here to sit and promote the museum for new membership. You can sign up for it either online, you can do it here in person, you can do it by phone or by mail. Either way, Berks, we have different levels of membership. One of the members, as an individual member, you will also get 4 copies of the Historical Review of Berks County. It is articles on local history done by local authors. So that it's a very, very valuable resource that we use as far as for research, that when we do other projects moving forward within the museum.
We have coming up, we have a number of bus tours coming up that have availability still. We have a number of basket workshops coming up, and these are not Easter baskets. They are different designs for different time periods, and some painting classes as well. So, and then on the second Saturday of the month, we always have a history presentation in our auditorium. And if you're a history buff, I encourage you to come and check that out.
Later this summer, we have our Founders Day open house event, which celebrates, we were founded in 1869 in August, and so every year we have an open house on that day. And then this fall we have our Road Ramble, which takes you throughout Berks County. This year we're doing the Ole Valley. And then later this fall we will be having a revitalization campaign fundraising dinner at the Redner's Event Center on November 18th.
You can follow us on Facebook or Instagram and just search @Berks History, or you can go to our website, which is berkshistory.org.
So my name is Sarah Idris. I'm the event manager, event coordinator, museum registrar here at the Heritage Center. So the Heritage Center is responsible for putting this event on today. We are here to celebrate some Easter traditions of the Pennsylvania Dutch. So I've been in this position for a little under a year, full-time, but I've been involved with the Heritage Center for almost 8 years now, in various capacities, basically since I started school here at Kutztown. So we've got a lot of fun stuff going on. We've got some excellent musicians here in the schoolhouse. We have some lovely demonstrators over in the farmhouse and the summer kitchen. Becky Manley's in the house demonstrating in the hearth. Terry Berger's in the summer kitchen. He's making cookies in the wood stove out there. We also have my dad in the blacksmith shop, and we've got some lovely crafters both in the tent and over here in the cabins.
Basically a broom maker, trying to keep room on a cool day, but we're having fun. I take a lot of pieces of broom corn that I grow and we make it into the brooms. You get 1 tassel per plant, and that's the biggest problem. In this area, it takes 120, 130 days to grow it. And like I said, you get 1 per plant, it's covered with seed, and in another 30 days you let it dry, and then you rake the seed out of it. And we started messing with different dyes and making them all different colors. Somebody asked if we wanted to be the Eagles colors winning the Super Bowl this year. This is what we came up with. When you make this style, my fingers already put it in boiling water, and then you put it on this way and you bend it backwards, and that's what creates the shoulder effect. You make a more traditional style of New England round broom. You basically just stack the broom corn around the handle and run your strings through it. We tried to make some up in Easter colors for a special event where we made one with an Easter egg on it, and nobody really found it and got excited yet, but we have it here. And of course we had to keep up with the latest movie, and it seems like every 6 months there's another movie out with a broom in it. So we had to be ready for the Wiccan crowd, and the Wiccan movie that's out right now. Just a lot of fun. I can't believe it's been 48 years I've been playing with this strange hobby. On there I learned for the bicentennial, and now they're talking about this tricentennial, so I guess I'm officially old. But the bottom line is we need you to come out to these events to help us preserve some of these historic crafts that are slowly fading away. You can find me online. I do sell my products on Etsy. Our shop is called Country Brooms. It's also our business name. And I also use that as my email, and I'm old-fashioned. It's countrybrooms@AOL.com. On there, I haven't changed since the first time I turned on that computer. I'm not sure how it works, but that's somehow people get a hold of me.
All right, my name is Ruth Williams, and I have been a folk artist in this area since the 1980s, actually. And I started out doing paintings on wood, which I still do a little bit of. You will see that with some of the Easter eggs that are here today. I've also taught myself to do frock tour, and that is a watercolor technique that was used to produce certificates. Teachers and clergy would do watercolor images on documents, birth baptismal certificates and school certificates. A lot of those images are often done with lettering. I don't have any of that here today. I do have some hand sewing. I like to work in the techniques that were used in the 1800s. So it is real wool fabric, all done by hand, and blanket stitched, and most of them are made into pin keeps, which would be a pin cushion. So they have a stuffing inside that is steel wool or walnut shell, something that will keep your pins sharp. So there's always a little story behind what I do of how the techniques have evolved and why they were done that way. So most of the work on my first table, it would be 1800s Pennsylvania German type art. But I also do portrait miniatures which date back to the 1700s in Pennsylvania. It is a European technique that started out with illuminated manuscripts of the early Bibles. That evolved into brooches and awards that were given out by royalty and worn as jewelry. From those small medallions, they would order portraits done. This is well before photography. So portraits were keepsakes at that time, especially since you lived such a distance apart from loved ones. So I've replicated using black and white photographs of my family, but when I paint the portrait, I paint it in color. So by interviewing family members and finding out hair and skin and eye color, I can sort of take those black and white photos and bring those people into life for me, because I have never met some of them. So I try to tell the Pennsylvania history through my miniatures. Charles Wilson Peale was the artist who was most prominent with miniatures in Philly. I also do lover's eyes, which are very unique art. Those eyes were given as tokens on the engagements, proposals. They were worn by family after someone would pass away. And it was a way to have, inside a locket, you would have the eye of a loved one, and you could open it and reminisce about them. I've also taken some stories, like this is the Conrad Gilbert rabbit, and it is really considered the first image of an Easter rabbit in our area. He was a school teacher and did a small painting like that for one of his students as a reward of merit for good work. It has evolved into being our Pennsylvania German Easter Bunny. So the Conrad Gilbert rabbit is used by a lot of the frock tour artists, and it's depicted two different ways, with a curled fur, and then he also did one with the stripes and dots. The originals still exist. One is in Colonial Williamsburg and one is in Winterthur. So what I've done is adapted that Gilbert bunny into a toy that children can actually play with. And the Easter basket and the rabbit stacked on top of each other like that. But trying to get folk art and the stories behind the folk art to the younger generations is a passion of mine, so that things are not forgotten and we realize the value of a lot of the local traditions. And many of the Easter traditions do stem from Pennsylvania German history. I grew up in a family where we attended folk festivals and historic sites almost every weekend whenever something was going on. So I grew up with a love of antiques and folk art. My parents were very crafty, doing quilting and woodworking. So it's always been around me. And when I married, my husband also took an interest in woodworking, and we started producing things together and coming to some of the local festivals. So I actually work throughout Lancaster, Berks County, Bucks County, Montgomery County, wherever there's a venue that has a story behind it. That's my mission, is to keep those historic sites going with participating in their event. So on Facebook, it is Ruth A. Williams, Heirloom Inspired Art. There's a website, www.paletteandportraits.com, and that tells all about the history of portrait miniatures. But yes, please follow me and let me know where you heard about me. That would be wonderful.
So I'm Terry Berger. I'm a demonstration cook here, and I've been with the center here. I think I'm pushing 15 years at this point, if not more. Okay, so probably like 18 years or so. But I'm a demonstration cook, so I make traditional. I do a lot of baked goods here, so I make traditional baked goods. The cookies that I made today was a raisin-filled cookie, and the cookies that you see here, these are soft Moravian sugar cookies. They're a traditional Pennsylvania German recipe to begin with, but they kind of rear their head in different places within the community. The Old Order Amish serve this cookie halfway through their worship service to the kids, so to give the kids a little something to appease them during a 3-hour worship service. The soft sugar cookies, in my own tradition, these are served at our love feast services, which are always a complement to communion. So in having love feast and communion, we believe we're reenacting Christ's last moments with his disciples. This is a 1940s Prizer. The Prizer stoves were made in Reading, and the later stoves had a more modern look to them. Earlier stoves had a more traditional look to them, like you would have at Grandma's house. But if you want to see, there's still a bit of the fire in here. One of the things with these stoves, the working temperatures are all on one surface. So you have high, medium, and low, all on one surface. So instead of turning the burner up or down, you move the stove to a different part, or you move the pot or pan to a different part of the stove. The oven here bakes. That's governed by heat flow and things in the stove. The top section here, this is the warming, consider the warming closet. So this would have been the equivalent of a 19th century microwave. You can put plates in to warm it up. If somebody's coming in late or coming in late from the fields, you can put a plate filled with food in there. It'll keep it warm. If the summer kitchen is cooler in the winter, I'll put bread in here to raise it. I even make yogurt in it. So it's very versatile, very, very pragmatic stove. And these kinds of stoves are still being made today. Well, between the United States, Canada, Ireland, Yugoslavia, and Italy, there's about a dozen companies still manufacturing these stoves. The closest to us here is DNS Stoves down in Lancaster County, right outside of Intercourse.
Hi, my name is Melissa Geary. I'm the Research Access Technician at the Pennsylvania German Cultural Heritage Center here at Kutztown University. And every year we host a couple events, and this one is Easter on the Farm, where we have tons of activities for family, for children, for anybody and anybody in between. And today I'm running the egg scratching stand. Egg scratching is a traditional Pennsylvania Dutch tradition around Easter time, where we would hard boil eggs and dye them. And these eggs are dyed with onion shell and hibiscus, so they're natural dyes. And we take any kind of sharp tool, so I have a stylus here, and you can design anything you'd like on it. Some people like to design traditional Easter egg like motifs, so like go all the way around the egg and have like polka dots on them or zigzags. Today I have designed a bunny and a little wreath on top with some stars, just as an example to show the children on kind of how to do it. You can find us at pagerman.org, or you can go to Kutztown University's website and look up the Pennsylvania German Cultural Heritage Center and find us there.
We also have Heimatfest, which is Heimat means home, so that's the home festival, and that's celebrating fall traditions. That's September 27th of this year. And then we also have Christmas on the Farm. That's December, I want to say 6th this year. It's whatever that first Saturday is, and that circles around Christmas traditions. So we do have Facebook. We also have a website. It's pgchc.org, I think. Don't quote me on that. It's kind of new, so I'm still learning it. But we are on social media. We do have a website. Generally, if you Google us, we're pretty easy to find. So.
Thank you all so much for watching. I finally have a consistent work schedule, which means I should be uploading more frequently from now on. Make sure you subscribe to stay notified as to when those videos will be coming out, and if you want to follow me on my other socials to see other updates I have on different events coming up, be sure to check me out on Facebook and Instagram. Until next time, this is Berks One-on-One, signing off.